In this video, we want to continue our work on sending and receiving drawings using basic sockets to send them. We had been working on this start server method here, and we were down to the point where all we had was the situation where we have received a drawing and we want to do something with it. Well, all we have to do is we need to add a new tab with that drawing. That's actually something that we do in a few places inside of here. In fact, if we were to search for add what's our method called? Or make drawing tab. Make drawing tab happens there, happens there, happens there, and then we have the place where it's actually written. That's enough that it might actually be worth having a separate method that would do this so that we can more easily say, like add drawing and give it a drawing and a name, and it will not only do this step, it would do these other steps as well. Probably tell the drawing to refresh if we aren't doing that down inside of our make drawing tab here. Looks like we're not, and that might be a nice thing to do as well. So how about we put in another private add drawing, which takes a drawing and a name that is a string, and I actually should have copied code from above. So it's basically this code right here. With some renamed variables. Private def add drawing. The tab pane is not accessible here. I really don't want to change scope. We could declare the tab pane, change its scope. We'll have to make sure that Scala FX is happy with doing that. General rule of thumb with variables, you should declare them in the minimum scope feasible, and I had been, the minimal scope for the tab pane had been inside of here. Well, if we're going to use it down in this method that we've just written, we need that out in a larger scope. And now I can actually have the drawing refresh itself. Okay, so now I really want to call this in all the places. So right here it's actually easy. Add drawing of the drawing and the title. Okay. And then we can go to situations like this, and we can call add drawing of first drawing and untitled. To take that down a little bit, this can be add drawing. In fact, this can become a single line. Add drawing of a new drawing. In fact, I could probably do that above as well. And untitled. Let's change this, so instead of passing in first drawing, I really don't need to have names for that, and there's no purpose. And then here we'll also do add drawing of drawing and file dot get name. And that one actually does have a refresh on the drawing. The other two didn't. Okay. So theoretically, if someone were to send us a drawing right now, this would add it in. Might be nice to run just because we did refactor several places in the code. Okay, I have a drawing here, so I guess that was happy, at least for the first drawing it was. Now we need to have the ability to send a drawing. So if we come up here to the top, we added a menu option for sending a drawing. So we need to go down to our code for the send item and decide what we're going to put inside of there. Well, as before, so we basically had a method here that we put all the code in because it could be longer. I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm just going to call a send drawing method, and we can add that method down below. Private def send drawing. So what does this need to do? Well, this one probably should spend some time asking the user, do some GUI stuff, to ask the user like where they want to send it, and then maybe have them provide a title or something like that. So we're going to have to bring up a dialog here, and I'm going to need two of them. In fact, because I'm doing this is something that might need to happen in multiple places inside the GUI. Maybe it would be nice to write our own little method for showing an input dialog that takes the message we want to display as a string and the title that we want on the dialog box, and it's going to give back an option of string because maybe they type something in, maybe they don't. In fact, that's what's returned by the dialog show and wait when you do a text input dialog. So we'll make a dialog. It's a new text input dialog from Scala FX. It has a title, which we will set to the title that is passed in. It has content text, which we will set to be the message. And then there is a show and wait that returns an option of string, which is exactly what we want to do. Since I'm going to have to do this twice in this one method, and it might be useful in other places, it's just nice to have it kind of separated out. I also don't have to think of quite as many variable names when I do that. Okay. So we need to ask, where do they want to send this drawing? So the message is what machine do you want to send the drawing to? Machine name for the title. Now that gives back an option of string, and if it actually has a value, I want to do something with it. Okay, so the proper way to do that with options is to do a for each on it. And I just noticed the typo in here. So we'll call this machine. It's the name of the machine that we're going to run on. And of course it does absolutely nothing if they cancel out and don't give us a machine name. Once we have the machine name, we can open a socket. So I'm going to make a new socket of machine and the port that we used up here, which is 8088. So that establishes a socket to them. Now this is only going to output, whereas up here we only did input. We got an object input stream. Here I'm going to get an object output stream. So a new object output stream that I will wrap around a new buffered output stream that I will wrap around the sockets get output stream. Okay, it's unhappy. Yep, I don't think I have two close parentheses there. And now we can do some imports, and we'll make sure that's all happy. It is. Okay, so I have an output stream, and now I can ask them what they want the title for this drawing to be. So we can do val title, sure, equals, once again we'll call the show input dialog is the title of the drawing, and the title will be title. Okay, so assuming they type something in, I will want to write out the title that they typed, because remember, we need to make it so that this matches what this is reading. So once we created the object input stream, we read a UTF and then we read an object. So this better write a UTF and then write an object. If for some reason we made them mismatch, that would be problematic. So it writes out that, and then it writes an object of our drawing. So somehow we have to get hold of a drawing to work with, and that should be the drawing that is up in the current tab, and then we should close our object output stream and close our socket. So once again, this is something that we wind up doing a fair number of times, so we'll come back in the next video and we will refactor it so that we have better code for getting hold of drawings and the drawing that's up in the current tab.